Hi everyone, Regine here. I haven't been here in a while. In any case, if this is your first time seeing me, today I am actually talking about how to reduce belly fat. If it is your first time, my name is Regine and I actually work with women ages 35 to their early to mid 60s, and I help empower and inspire women to reclaim their health and fitness and to basically reignite their health and fitness, reclaim their authentic self, and learning to let go, learning to say no, learning to put themselves first and live loud and unapologetically, and reclaiming their health and fitness, whether you used to be super active and you're no longer active because you're either too busy, traveling too much, putting everybody else first, and your health has been on the back burner. So I help you reignite that, and we do that to health and fitness, to proper nutrition, customized programs, and ultimately you can just kind of rise in joy and just be happy and super joyful. So that is what I do. If this is your first time seeing me, and if it's not your first time seeing me, well, hello again. And today, you guys, I decided to talk about a subject that's very dear to me, because that is a subject that is the number one questions I get all the time, whether it's with current clients, prospective clients, and just about anybody within that age range, which I fit into, which is within the 35 to mid 60s and whatnot. And usually it's, how do I reduce? Either I didn't used to have a belly, or now I have a belly, or I've had kids and that belly just never left, or it's been so hard for me to get rid of my belly. And how do I reduce my belly fat? First and foremost, guys, I'm going to tell you, reducing your belly fat is all about reducing your body fat. The more body fat you have, wherever you are, let me know. Just leave me a little note on the bottom. Yeah, the more body fat you have, depending on where you carry your weight genetically, it depends. Some people carry most of their weight on the hips. Some people carry most of their weight on the bellies and whatnot. So that's where, so you're going to have to, first and foremost, know that you're going to have to reduce your entire body fat to reduce. You cannot spot reduce for one. And then the other big mistake that I see people do is thinking cardio is their friend, and they go for cardio, thinking, yeah, cardio has its place, yes, but it's not the only thing that's gonna help you reduce your body fat. And then I'm sure you guys have learned about, you've heard about it several times about abs are made in the kitchen, whatever. Yes, nutrition is 80% of it, because at the end of the day, you want to work with a calorie deficit, right? If you want to lose weight, you're gonna have to have a calorie deficit. And I'm saying that I am not exactly from that school of thought. Yes, it is great. That is assuming that you are healthy and you have no other barring conditions. You're not dealing with, medications for hypothyroidism or other kind of medication that put your body in that flight or fight mode, where you need to kind of reduce, kind of be on that healthy bandwagon before you start getting yourself in a super high caloric deficit, because that's putting even more stress in your body. And if your hormones and everything else are not working right, then you're putting even more stress, and you may feel like you are fighting an uphill battle. But in any case, let's just say you're healthy and you're just having that, that woman midlife crisis, we putting in that extra weight on, and you're trying to get rid of that belly that you probably either carried from never losing the baby weight, or just from being deconditioned altogether. And So how do you do that? And the way I actually put my clients and what I work with my clients about is telling them about is to lose that is, first, we're going to try to put you in a calorie deficit. Second, it's not going to be a boatload of cardio or anything, you guys. Your best friend is weights. I've been reading a lot about people telling me, sending me text messages saying, oh yeah, I've done the weights and I'm becoming bulky and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. You guys, the weights are not necessarily making you bulky. What's happening is we're so much in we want the quick fix that you probably done the weights for 2 weeks to a month. And what's happening is you're building, perhaps your nutrition is not necessarily on point just yet. You probably have a calorie surplus for one. For two, you'll probably, if you're really doing the weights the way you're supposed to be doing the weights, you're probably not, because your nutrition is not dialed in, you're doing the weights, so therefore you're not really reducing your fat, your overall fat in general, because we cannot spot reduce, remember? So you're not really reducing your overall fat in general, but then you're also building a little bit of muscle. So what's happening then? You have that layer of fat and then you're building a little bit of muscle, so pushing it out so it looks like you are getting bulkier. And no amount of crunches, guys, is gonna give you a flat stomach. You can be doing crunches and ab workouts till a cow comes home. This is not gonna help you reduce the size of your stomach. If you haven't checked that out, check it out. I've offered a free challenge before that's called Beat the Belly Bloat, because 3/4 of us women, again, in that age range, we're walking around with what is a belly bloat. That does not mean you're not walking around, you do not have belly fat. You probably most certainly have belly fat, but a lot of times too, you're walking around on top of your belly fat, you also have belly bloat. So if you haven't checked it out yet, check it out. It's a free challenge, nothing to lose, nothing to pay for, nothing. So check it out. It'll walk you through some things that will be beneficial. So that being said, if you've taken care of your bloat, you know for a fact that you do not have a belly bloat, you've taken care of your gut, that means you're taking your probiotics, you're doing your fermented foods and all that jazz. And if you're wondering how to do all that, it's in my 7-day challenge. But let's say you're doing all that, right? And you want to lose your belly fat. Again, keep in mind that you do not spot reduce. You cannot spot reduce. So you need to have a bit more. Your calorie expenditure needs to be a lot higher than the amount of calories that you take in. That means, yes, that whole adage of 80% nutrition, yes, you need to pay attention to your nutrition. And by paying attention to your nutrition, how much fatty food are you eating? How much sweets are you intaking? That kind of stuff. You want to have your, enough protein, vegetables, and complex carbs. Carbs are your friend. And again, not overloading it on the cardio. It's not all on cardio. What I prefer people doing is actually weights are your friends. And don't be afraid of the weights, guys. And by weights, I mean not your little 5-pounder, 2.5-pounder, whatever. You need to start lifting heavy. Do not be afraid of the weight. I mean, granted, if you're starting from zero, from being a deconditioned person, I'm not going to go ahead and tell you, go ahead and hit the weights and hit heavy. Of course, there is a period of adaptation. So you're going to have to start with something that is, you want a weight that is challenging. So you want to hit your compound movements that I was going to start speaking Spanish. I almost said tal vez. Even start with your body weight, compound exercises, your squats, push-ups, and then start working your deep core muscles with your plank. And the reason why they're called compound exercises is because they involve more than one joint, right? When you're doing your squat, you have your hip joint working, you have your knee, you have the ankles, and then you have the whole core as a stabilizer, right? So you have your core. By core, I mean not just your abs. Core doesn't include just your abs. So you have your transverse abdominals, your obliques, your six-pack, which is the main, and then you also have your extensors, everything in the back. Right, and then I also include your glutes in that. So I would put people into, first, let's start working to strengthen your core before you start putting on, because we need to have a strong core before we go on and do your big weights. So first, I put people through a core stabilization workout. So that would include several exercises, glute bridges, and all these can be ramped up or lower. If you're just starting, then you'd be doing, regular glute, double leg glute bridges and whatnot. And if you're somebody that has been doing things for a while, then you could also definitely ramp it up by doing single leg bridges, by doing weighted bridges and whatnot. Again, that comes in the weights, right? So you get bridges. You'll be able to, you could do a quadruped reach. You can do bird dog. You can do the plank, of course. And if the plank is too challenging for you, then you could always go ahead and go, if you are unable to do the plank just yet, you can always start with your knees on the floor and do the plank. And then slowly get yourself, start with 10 seconds, then ramp it up to 15, 20, 30. When it's easier, then you could go ahead and do your two-legged plank. And then if that is just too easy for you, just keep adding it on until the longer you can do your plank. Then the stronger, work on the strength of your core. Oops, I almost dropped the video there. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a little bit excited. Anyways, just start with just strengthening your core in general. So you cannot spot reduce, but you can start with a strong core. By strengthening the core, then it will help strengthen your whole body so you can go on to attack actual weights. And before we do weights, we can always perform and perfect those exercises with your own body weight if you're just starting, right? If you're just starting, and like I said before, you could go ahead and hit squats, push-ups, all your basic foundation movements, and then, do your split lunges, split squats, all of that, and that will help you. Because in all of that, you need to keep your core engaged, to keep your posture engaged. And the benefit of that, guys, a tight, nice, strong core gives you better posture, better confidence. You look taller. You're able to hit the weights hard. So let's go forward. Let's say you're not a complete beginner. You've been exercising for a while, and you're not seeing any reduction in your belly yet. What you do is check your nutrition, making sure you're in your calorie deficit, making sure you're not eating too much sugar, making sure you're not eating too much, extra calories, too much sugar, you're not eating too much fat. By fat, I mean bad fat, right? The fat that causes cholesterol, because you do need your good fats, coming from salmon, your omega-3s, omega-6s. You want your good fat coming from avocado, coconut oil, all that good stuff. But you also want to make sure that you're hitting the weights properly, and you are challenging your body. You're not just, if you've been exercising for a while, throw away those little 8-pounders. Go for the big exercise. Grab the barbell and do some overhead squats. Again, compound exercises, taxes the whole body, stabilizes the core, it makes you engage the core. And the more muscle you work, the more calories you burn. The more calories you burn, the better you can actually reduce your overall body fat. And therefore, depending on where you hold on fat, if you hold on fat primarily in your abs, then it'll probably be the last to go, in the last 10 pounds. But you can definitely achieve a flat belly, that is, if that is your goal and you are consistent. It's not going to happen in 1 month. And yes, you might feel like, oh yeah, I'm getting a little bulky. And it's because if you feel like you're getting a little bulky, check your nutrition, making sure that your intensity, you're working out with some intensity and using some heavy weight to tax your body, and using, bigger muscles, getting some deadlifts in, whether it's with dumbbells at home, getting some major deadlifts in, always working out the compound exercises, right? Compound movements, deadlifts, and do some weighted lunges, do some overhead squats, do some back squats, some front squats, and even weighted glute bridges. all of that will help you to achieve and reduce your belly fat. Again, you cannot spot reduce, so your body will do whatever your body will do depending on where you are genetically, but you can definitely reduce your overall body fat. And to reduce your overall body fat, you go ahead systematically at it and consistently. Consistently right here. Consistency is the key word. So get your nutrition on point, be in a calorie deficit, hit your weights. It's not all about the cardio. What cardio? The actual word cardiovascular means it taxes your cardiovascular system, which is your heart. Okay? We want to hit those big muscles. Cardio is heart. Okay? We want to hit those big muscles. You will burn a lot more calories lifting weights than doing cardio in 1 hour of cardio. And lifting weights and resistance training can be done with your own body depending on what are your goals, right? So everything, the exercise or the exercise prescription that you get depends on the goal that you have in mind. If you're somebody, people tell me, oh, I don't want to do weights because I do not want to be all, cut up and whatever and chiseled and whatnot. That's fine. It's not going to get you all cut up and chiseled just like that. I know people that have been lifting weights for years and do not get chiseled just like that. It is not possible for us women to get chiseled just like that. You can be lifting some heavy weights and still accomplish the body that you want. Nice and lean muscles. It's possible to be lifting some heavy weights and not be bulky and have lean muscles. So if you have any questions whatsoever, if you've tried it, if you have any questions, drop them below. Just let me know what's going on, okay? Just wanted to share with you because this is one of the number one things I get all the time is, how do I get rid of my belly? And for that, we need to start from zero. If you're somebody that deconditioned, you've got to start from zero. You have got to start to learn the basics, how to brace your stomach, how to brace your belly and your core so you're able to engage it and get the most out of your workouts and throughout the day. And then on top of that, it gets you a boost of confidence and everything else. So that being said, if you're around, give me a thumbs up or not. And otherwise, talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye. Mwah.